Caroline from Visit Chester and Cheshire. Caroline, presumably the credit crunch will assist a destination like Chester to improve their short break performance over the next few months and years.
Absolutely. Well, we market ourselves as a short break destination, and it's all about boutique heritage. And it's in Cheshire. We have a mixture of high-end hotels and attractions, but also we do have a budget accommodation as well, which is very mainstream. So the credit crunch isn't going to affect us too much. It is actually just going to help us attract different markets into the city.
And people that may want to take a trip to Barcelona or Madrid may rethink their plans and perhaps come to Cheshire and Chester.
Yes, and even actually it might, more expensive cities which are famous for being expensive, people look elsewhere and kind of look around the regions and they'll come across Chester and Cheshire and think, okay, well, what can we do here? It is a more affordable city than some of the more hot ones around Europe, Paris and so forth. So.
Okay, well, you've got some nice accommodation. You've got a good range of accommodation, but that's not the only thing that's going to draw people to Chester. What could you actually do there? Why do people visit? Presumably not just to shop.
No, not just a shop. Well, I'm sitting on a horse for a reason. Equestrian is a big push for us next year. We've got the oldest race course where we've got the famous Chester races, which start from May all the way through to September time. We've also got the oldest polo club as well and the oldest hunt club. So we're trying to bring it a bit more mainstream into the marketplace, because I think there's a lot of stigma that polo, especially in the races, it's a bit more high end, as it's not really for normal people, I guess. But it's not. It is affordable. You can get a polo lesson at a polo academy for £90, and that's a 2-hour lesson, and it's a bit of an introduction. You don't have to be good at horse riding and so forth. But also next year we're continuing with the Cheshire Gardens theme, which we've been celebrating for 2008 with our Gardens of Distinction brand. And also the launch of the Virgin Trains linked from London to Chester is going to be happening in January, where a service is going to be departing every hour from London, and that would mean it's making our destination a lot more accessible than what is first thought, because people into the region, they go into London and think, oh gosh, well, how do I get out and about? But their infrastructure is improving, and especially with the rail links as well.
So we can travel to Chester in an environmentally friendly way, and when we get there, can we eat local food?
Yes, well, Cheshire's famous for its local produce. We've got, I'm sure you've heard of the Cheshire cheese and the Cheshire cat. Also, we've got the wines as well. Now, this is a new one which is coming. It's a bit of an emerging thing for us, but we do actually have vineyards in Cheshire, which is very surprising in the location northwest of England. But there's one hotel in particular, Carden Park. They've got there's a couple of acres of vineyards, and they're producing a sparkling white wine. So it's going to be a cheaper alternative to champagne. And there is starting to have a bit of a food trail, and within that food trail it is covering the vineyards, mostly in small National Garden Scheme gardens. But it's quite an emerging one for us, and you have to watch the space really for next year and onwards.